Welcome, lands, beekeepers, and Wild Hives Community. We have got a great day going on here. It's the middle of the week, and we're seeing 60s, 65, sun's out. It was supposed to rain all day today. Our bees that are in our backyard are going crazy. They're coming out. I'm assuming they're doing a lot of cleansing flights and stuff, and hopefully you're getting some good days yourself and getting excited about seeing your bees come out over the next few weeks. So we're all looking forward to our first spring inspections, and it's kind of exciting, and hopefully everybody's going to be really successful. Now, I know a number of you may be brand new beekeepers, or maybe this is just your the beginning of your second year. Or maybe you've just been somebody who has been away from beekeeping, and overall you've taken maybe a bee class this spring, maybe in the last month, and they've talked to you about bees. And a lot of times when you go to a beekeeping training class, they tell you about getting excited about getting out and making sure that your vendors know that you want an order of bees. But we wanted to go through the process of getting bees, and we see that as 3 different ways that you can get bees. So if you're a beginner beekeeper and you're looking to get your first bees this year, or maybe you haven't been a beekeeper for a little while and you're getting back into it, or maybe you've lost some hives, hopefully this video is going to be good for you. So let's get started. If you need bees, there's generally 3 ways that most beekeepers get bees. They either buy a package of bees, and when I say a package of bees, it's usually a box that has screen on it. It has about 3 pounds of bees in it. It has a can, a queen in a cage, and the can has syrup in it. And it's usually, in most areas, packages are brought from the south up. Generally, at least here in Southwest Ohio, there aren't a lot of people doing package bees. They're bringing bees up from the south. Another way of getting bees is a nook. That is a box that has fully drawn frames. If it's a Land's hive, it's a longer frame. If it's a Langstroth, it's a wider and shorter frame. But generally, you have a mature, small colony of 5 frames. Usually it's 2 frames of brood, a frame of resources, another frame of comb so the queen can keep laying, a overwintered queen, and at least 3 pounds of bees or more in a nook. Generally, a nook is a little bit more expensive than a package of bees because you're getting the frames and you're getting that drawn out comb, which us beekeepers, we know that's gold. And you definitely want to keep hold of your frames of comb. The third way that we'll talk about is swarm trapping. And a lot of times you'll go and you'll get a class or something just on swarm trapping. So sometimes it's not included in a beginner beekeeper class. It might be mentioned, but they won't spend a lot of time on it. So let's talk about the first way, package of bees. You would normally get that earlier in the spring. Sometimes you'll get that sometime in April from your vendor. Your local vendor will get those in and tell you on the day when that's coming in. That's a package of bees, it's a box. You would take that box home, and there's lots of videos out there, but the general idea is you take the box, take the lid off, take the queen in her cage and set her aside, make sure it's not in the sun, and then you shake that box of bees into your empty hive. And then you would generally put your frames back in, and you would squeeze the cage with the queen between 2 frames, and you would leave her in there for a day or so until she's released by the colony. Then they would go to work. They're generally fat and happy with the syrup from the can. They'll get right to work. If you have just foundation, they'll start building that out. If you have old comb, she'll go right to work and laying. But eventually, that's a fairly successful method of getting a package of bees. Though you need to know these are bees coming from the south. They're not overwintered in your area. They may have overwintered where the winters are very light and easy. Also, on the topic of varroa, almost all packages will have some level of varroa. Just like all of our hives will have some level of varroa, whether we treat or not, whether the companies that sell those packages treat or not, there will always be a level of varroa. So some people mention that you might want to treat your package of bees right off the bat before that you put them into your colony, into your box. So that's package of bees. Then there's that second step up. It costs a little bit more. A lot of times those are local bees. Those are your local beekeepers that are selling their overwintered queens and part of the overwintered colony, 5 frames, and they're selling that to you as a starter colony. You would simply take that home, again, take the frames, put them into your empty hive. You wouldn't have to put in your own frames because it comes with that, but if you have some more, you can put some more frames in, and then you would shake whatever bees are left in the box. And as you're putting those frames in, you're probably looking for your queen, making sure she's been laying well, and that's how you would introduce a nook into your hive. The third way, and the way that I think is fun, it's interesting, it's all part of beekeeping actually, and it's really the old part of what the old beekeeping was, is when farmers wanted bees, they would go out and get bees out of the woods. They might cut down a tree, cut a section of a log, but they would gather their bees from the wild. And that is partly of what swarm trapping is about. It's about experiencing that part of beekeeping, about going out and collecting your own bees. Collecting bees that have overwintered in the wild and have overwintered in your location. It also you may be able to collect bees that haven't been treated, haven't been fed. They may have been in the woods or in your area there for a number of years. They may have been in the side of a house or a barn, in the floor of some old abandoned house, or in some trailer or something, and they've been just fine all by themselves. So there's some benefits there with trapping, because you actually may get bees that have some ability to protect themselves from the varroa mites and resist. It's not that they don't have viruses, but be able to resist them better. So I strongly suggest a beginner beekeeper giving swarm trapping a try early in your experience. One of the things it is, as well as it's free. So you get free bees. And as you buy packages, you'll know that those dollars start getting expensive for you to get bees every year. So I have some devices here to talk about the swarm trapping process. Now, if we're Lands Hive beekeepers, and so we use Lands Hives, but I know some of you may be watching this video, you're actually a Langstroth beekeeper. And one of the ways that you can collect your own bees with your own hive style is by taking a single deep with the lid and the bottom board and strapping it together. This now can be your swarm trap. Some old equipment you have, or part of the equipment you're not using right now, utilize that equipment. Don't let it just sit there. Create your swarm traps. It's just a single deep. You fill it with comb or fill it with frames. I would also suggest that you reduce the entrance. Use one of your entrance reducers and reduce it down to one of your smallest entrances. Put your frames in, strap this and hang this. Now, a lot of people put them up really high, 15 feet or so, and thinking that they have to get them up there. I think you need to put them at the height that is safe for you. I don't put them up any more than about 5 or 6 feet high, because for me, walking up and down a ladder with a very heavy box in both of my arms is kind of dangerous if I have to take more than a step or two up. So I just put them at that height. Some people put them on water barrels or atop of fence posts. It's really more about the location that's really more important. And we have other information about that, about where to put your swarm traps, how to locate them, so you try to get the best opportunity for your bees. But you would end up wanting to have things in your traps, such as putting in propolis. So if you're if you had bees and you've had some old frames, you probably can scratch off some propolis on those frames and put that inside the box. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to bait the box. And we use these two styles of boxes for our swarm trapping. This is a 7 frame. and this is a 5 frame. Now, what's the difference? This one, once you get a swarm in it, you can leave them in here a little longer. So if you're like, well, I'm not sure I'm going to get a swarm and I don't have that hive built yet, you might want to go with a little bigger swarm trap, because it'll give you more time once you do catch the swarm to be able to build your own box. A box that's about 5 frames, once you know you have a swarm in it and you've left it up there for probably another week, it's probably pretty full. And when you get it back, you probably want to move this right into a hive. So based on how you want to handle your building process and your collection process, you may want to go with a bigger one or a smaller one. The larger one here also gives you an opportunity that you can, this is thicker walled. It will likely take a little bit more, protect the bees a little bit more with temperature changes here in the spring, as you know, at least in our area. Sometimes we get crazy weather, just like we did today. Beautiful day here in the middle of February. But you can decide. We sell these Wild Hives. These are also things that you can make. And we're excited about seeing you follow your course in your journey. And if you want to make things, you contact us. We can help you. If you say, no, I'd rather just purchase it, we have these for you. But what you would put in these boxes to bait them is you would tend to put a scout lure. So the scouts, when they find a location that they really like, they leave a pheromone on that site. And what that does is it helps other scouts know that that's a preferred location, other scouts from their colony. It's also telling all other colony scouts that, hey, this is a good place. Another colony really like this. So we use a liquid, it's lemongrass oil. You can get things like Swarm Commander and stuff. Lemongrass oil, though, for us has really worked. It's very cheap, and I love saving money. So we use a lemongrass oil. We put a few drops on a paper towel inside of a plastic bag. I pick up a stick on the ground, put it in the opening so it stays open, and I put that in the bottom of the box. Next thing I do is I take some propolis, as I mentioned, and you can do lots of things with this. You can melt it down and smear it. You can take a hunk of it and scratch it on the inside. But what you're doing is you're adding that propolis lure, that smell, along with the lemongrass, which is the scout pheromone. And then if you have comb, fill your trap with comb. And if you don't have comb and you just have foundation, put frames of foundation in here. And some people say, well, do you fill it or don't you? I've been more successful with filling the hive because bees walk the inside of the hive and they fly around the outside of the hive to really decide how big the space is. Once they get inside, if there's comb available, you've just made the job easier. So I fill my traps with comb, and then I put them up, and I use a device that we also provide, is a swarm trap stand. And it's a pretty simple device, but it makes your job a whole lot easier. Instead of trying to hold a box and trying to strap it onto a tree or a post or something, trying to do more than one thing, this is a simple device. You screw it into a tree at the top. You level this so it's level in both directions. So this is nice and flat for the box. You finish screwing it into the tree with possibly some blocks behind it to just get it level. And now you have a nice platform that you can just take a box and set it right on there. This is your third hand. This helps you hold that box nice and steady. And then I can take my time and I can strap the box to this and to the tree. So these are some of the things we use for swarm trapping. But if you're a beginner beekeeper, you do have a choice. You have 3 ways you can go. Again, you can get a package, and shake those in. You can get a nook, which is a little bit more expensive and usually local, and you can place that in, and I would say, even if you're doing one of the first 2, I really encourage you to do the third thing, swarm trapping. It's kind of like fishing. I'm not really interested in going to the grocery store and just getting a fish. I'm actually interested in the experience of fishing. And this is kind of what swarm trapping is. It's kind of fishing for bees. It gives you the additional benefit of being free, local, and hopefully having some level of varroa resistance. So I hope this video has been interesting. If you have any questions, please contact us. We'd love to talk with you. And again, this is Wild Hives. See you later.